Pope Francis's condition continues to improve after being hospitalized for nearly 3 weeks due to double pneumonia. And now let's get more details from Gretchen Ho, who joins us live from Rome. Hi, Gretchen. Good morning. This is certainly good news to wake up to after days and weeks of uncertainty on the Pope's condition. Tell us more about this.
Alina, good morning to you once again. That's right. We are greeting Friday with some good news. In the first, after 3 weeks of being hospitalized, the Catholic faithful heard the Pope's voice in an audio recorded message played at the nightly rosary in St. Peter's Square, thanking everyone for their prayers. Here's the latest on Pope Francis.
Agradezco de todo corazón las oraciones que hacen por mi salud desde la plaza. Los acompaño de acá. Que Dios los bendiga y que la Virgen cuide. Gracias.
Though he seems to be weak and out of breath, Pope Francis eased the hearts and minds of many when he sent an audio recording during the nightly rosary led by cardinals at St. Peter's Square, thanking those who have been praying for him. The familiar voice brought solace to the Catholic faithful who have been missing their leader for about 3 weeks now, as Pope Francis remains hospitalized for double pneumonia. With most health updates coming from Vatican News, it's huge progress to hear from the 88-year-old pontiff himself. In the latest medical bulletin, the Pope continues to respond to respiratory and motor physiotherapy with beneficial effects and remains to be stable. There's no news, though, on whether he's still on high-flow oxygen or mechanical ventilator. One notable update was that the Pope managed to work yet again from his papal apartment at the Gemelli Hospital. In a deviation from the daily twice-a-day updates, the Vatican will also not give an update on Friday, Rome time, and will instead give its next word on Saturday. Things appear to be looking up for Pope Francis as he recovers from a series of respiratory crises.
This message from Pope Francis really touched me deeply in its simplicity, but also in the suffering that can be heard in his voice. So strained, yet so beautiful because it is close to us. We are human. He made me truly feel this humanity which is near.
Hearing the Pope's voice again is always an emotion, perhaps even more so now given his condition. We have been praying, hoping he recovers soon.
Alessia Reyes, a Filipina who works at the Vatican as officer in charge of volunteers for this Jubilee year, also recalls her experience with the Pope.
Indescribable experience, a mix of emotions. Kasi you just see him and sometimes I felt, for siguro first time ko, I felt really, let's say, nervous and excited at the same time. Kasi I'm gonna see, head of state, very humble, down to earth, and he's really concerned on every field that it regards the church. He asked me how I'm able to speak fluently Italian with a Roman accent. He found it so funny, and when I greeted him Buongiorno, Santo Padre. So you can hear really the difference, the diction, the tone of my voice, na very Italian with the Roman accent. So he was surprised and how are you able to speak fluently Italian with this accent? And I just explained to him na I was born and raised here in Rome. So he was surprised. He was surprised.
But he knew you were Filipino?
Yes.
The Jubilee year, a special year when pilgrims from all over the world come to the Vatican for spiritual renewal, takes place once every 25 years. This year, as of February, the Vatican recorded 1.3 million people passing through the holy door of St. Peter's Basilica. They are expecting about 2.5 million for the Jubilee of the Youth. Catholics will be happy if the Pope is well enough to greet his audiences again.
He really loves to being with people and without the security. The security is just there, but they're just apart. Parang ayaw niya na pagbawalin siya na to get close to them. So, especially he loves kids. Kaya in any audience or in any holy masses or in any apostolic trips, pag nakikita niya yung mga bata, gusto niya talagang i-bless.
Well, Pauline, that was Alessio Reyes, somebody who works right up there in the Vatican, dealing with the volunteers of the Jubilee year. She had a lot of memories to talk about the Pope, very, very fond memories and encounters with him. And it's the same story for most of the people we talk to here at the Vatican. They do remember the Pope being open, being warm, being friendly, being personable, and giving them special attention. And speaking of working in the Vatican, there are those working in the Vatican who have told us that there are already speculations as to the real status of the Pope's health. And the audio recording that was released this evening and morning there actually put a stop to all those speculations and quelled the fears and the worries of so many Catholics trying to find where is the Pope, why hasn't he shown himself amid all of the health problems. So just hearing his voice, hearing him breathe through speaking, put some authenticity in there, and actually made a lot of people smile this evening and morning over there in the Philippines.
And I must say, Gretchen, even I myself, it was really heartwarming to hear finally the voice of Pope Francis once again, and even more heartwarming to hear those stories of people whose lives were touched by Pope Francis. But given this great news, Gretchen, on this Friday morning, with the Pope Francis's health condition improving, how is the atmosphere there in Roma, especially among the faithful and especially among Filipinos?
Tama yung tanong mo, kasi napansin namin na parang medyo gumaan yung pakiramdam ng mga tao dito lately because of this is, I think, the third day that he has been reported to be stable, so 3 consecutive days. But do remember that before the last respiratory attack, there were about 3 to 4 days wherein the Pope was actually stable. So the prognosis remains to be guarded. He's still under close watch, but the fact that he's able to finally send the message, kahit nanghihina siya, nakapagsalita siya, nakapagbigay siya ng mensahe, and he's reported to be working inside his papal apartment. Those are good signs. And parang yung nag-interview tayo ng mga tao pa rin sa loob, meron tayong nakausap na Pinoy na Swiss Guard. Papakilala ko sa iyo yan in the next days. Pero mapapansin mo na kalmado sila. They're not worried. They're not on guard. They're not extra cautious about keeping a certain secret. So it seems to me that there is truth in what is being spoken about the Pope's health currently. So, nakakabuhay na loob. Talagang tama ka, bilang isang Katoliko at Kristiyano, nakakapanindig balahibo, to hear the Pope, to hear him speak gently, and still be grateful for all the prayers. And he was very specific in saying that I am with you at the square. Doon sa square kasi na yun, gabi-gabi, nagkakaroon ng rosaryo kasama ng mga cardinal, retired and current, and also those who would want to join the nightly prayer. So he's very specific to that. He didn't release it just to anybody else, but he sent that message to his own leadership. Kasi hindi lahat ng nasa Vatican talaga nakakaalam sa state ni Pope Francis. It is kept to a close circle about how he really is. So it sends a strong message that he sent that voice recording in the nightly rosary with all of the church leaders present.
Definitely a strong message of hope, and the whole world will continue praying for the full recovery of Pope Francis. But for now, thank you so much for giving us that great news heading into the weekend. Thank you very much. Morning Matters host Gretchen Ho reporting live from Rome.